SHIA'S Got Talent.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers, guests, spectators, and viewers online. It gives me once again a great pleasure to welcome you all to day 5 of episode 5 of SHIA'S Got Talent 2023. Now, we had a very intense episode 4, day 4. I am still recovering from last night. It was nerve-wracking, it was heartbreaking, emotional. It also had some very joyous moments filled with narrations, but that is a night that only gave us 4 contestants who made it to the semi-finals. It's been 4 days of excitement, 48 participants, out of which only 16 have made it to the next round. Here we are on episode 5 of day 5, looking for 4 more to join the 16 who have already made their way to the semi-finals. 8 of the 12 contestants today will be heading home. Ejaz, how are your nerves kicking in today?
It almost feels like we're heading towards the semi-finals now,
Right.
because these are the last few rounds that are left, and I feel that it is a big platform for all these participants to partake in. So all the best to them, and all the best to the judges, because their role also is very daunting and challenging. I wish them all the best as well.
I agree, and this is one of those nights. The hearts are racing, the minds are contemplating. The judges are about to go through another intense night of judging. The clocks are ticking. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me and join me in welcoming the judges for the episode 5, day 5 of SHIA'S Got Talent 2023. Please put your hands together for Sayyid Ali Al-Hakeem, Sayyid Jalal Masoomi, Sayyid Mohammed Hassan Alsheraa, and Mulla Muhammad Abbas Karim. Right, seems like the judges haven't slept either. An intense night. I think you're still recovering. Ejaz, over to you.
Assalamu alaikum. You may take your seat, inshallah. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat.
SHIA'S Got Talent.
The stage is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming contestant number 1 for episode 5, day 5, 2023, Hussain Ali Sharif.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
I'm fine.
You okay? Here we have a very confident looking Hussain Sharif. Over to you, Sayyid Jalal.
Assalamu alaikum, Hussain Sharif. I like your style, mashallah, beautiful, all white, beautiful.
Thank you.
As the whiteness of the sands of the Mbudia. So, how old are you?
I'm 14 years old.
14 years old, mashallah. Which part of the Holy Quran you're going to recite for us?
So I'll be reciting Surah Al-Nazi'at.
Mashallah. When did you first start the recitation of the Holy Quran?
So I started reciting here and there when I was like 6. But then I really started memorizing surahs. So I've memorized a few surahs over the ways. So for example, since I was 8, so we had various competitions in Dar es Salaam and around Africa, mostly in East Africa. And I've participated in those competitions.
So what was the best position you have got?
So I've come first twice.
Mashallah.
When I was 8 and when I was 10.
In Africa?
So yeah, East Africa.
In East Africa. So you want to smash it tonight?
Inshallah.
Yes? Let's go, inshallah. We're going to
Right,
listen
so
to
we
you.
have had you win when you were 8 and you were 10, and now you are?
14.
14. 4 years later, can you make it into 4 tickets available for tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Hussain Ali Sharif.
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والنازعات غرقا والناشطات نشطا والسابحات سبحا فالسابقات سبقا فالمدبرات أمرا يوم ترجف الراجفة تتبعها الرادفة قلوب يومئذ واجفة أبصارها خاشعة يقولون أئنا لمردودون في الحافرة أئذا كنا عظاما نخرة
الله.
قالوا تلك إذا كرة خاسرة فإنما هي زجرة واحدة فإذا هم بالساهرة هل أتاك حديث موسى إذ ناداه ربه بالواد المقدس طوى اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى فقل هل لك إلى أن تزكى وأهديك إلى ربك فتخشى فأراه الآية الكبرى فكذب وعصى ثم أدبر يسعى فحشر فنادى فقال أنا ربكم الأعلى فأخذه الله نكال الآخرة والأولى إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها رفع سمكها فسواها وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها والأرض بعد ذلك دحاها أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها والجبال أرساها متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى يوم يتذكر الإنسان ما سعى وبرزت الجحيم لمن يرى فأما من طغى وآثر الحياة الدنيا فإن الجحيم هي المأوى وأما من خاف مقام ربه ونهى النفس عن الهوى فإن الجنة هي المأوى يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها فيما أنت من ذكراها إلى ربك منتهاها إنما أنت منذر من يخشاها كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبسوا إلا عشية أو ضحاها صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على رسول الله وآله الأطهار جميعا على وآله الأطهار
Ladies and gentlemen, he deserves a bigger round of applause, please. Over to you, Sayyid Jalal.
MashaAllah, you have done good recitation. You memorized the whole surah. It's very good point, as MJ mentioned. You know, another thing is, do you know the maqamat, the melodies?
So I know what they're called, but I don't know them in depth. So like, I don't know the differences in between them very well.
How many melodies you recited, in case you say?
To be honest, I don't know.
Okay, you recited mainly 4 melodies, but the changing of maqamat was really smooth, so we couldn't even, if we don't know the melodies, we can't distinguish how you changed. You started with ajam, and then you went to bayati, and then you went to nahawan, and then you went to kurd, and then you finished back to bayati. You have done a very good job, but all of us, we have room for improvement. Try next time you recite based on the meaning. Why I say? For example, in verse number 34, because the topic changes here. You could change here to Sabah, for example. فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الطَّامَّةُ الْكُبْرَى. You show the sadness. يَوْمَ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ مَا سَعَى. And when the topic changes, you go, for example, to maqam as-sika. Your tajweed is, mashallah, very good. Of course, some parts, leveling of ghunnat, especially when we have noon and mim with shadda, inshallah, you focus. Another thing, you recited basically in tartil, but even in tartil, you showed jawab. You went to the higher pitch. So for this beautiful recitation, I stand up for you, Habibi.
Ahsant. Ladies and gentlemen, the first one for tonight. Brilliant. Said Muhammad Hassan, over to you, please.
Excellent work, Hussein Ali Sharif. You are what your name is. You are Sharif for reading the Holy Quran by memory. The thing is, while you did memorize the entire chapter of An-Nazi'at, I believe it would have been in your interest to also open and look at the chapter while you read it. There are times when we get distracted and we slip or trip on certain phrases here and there. And Nazi'at, where it's relatively considered a moderate to a simple to recite surah, many areas rhyme, it's still beneficial to look at the Quran. You came with wudu, and wudu is ibadah. Can you answer yes or no, if you don't mind? Wudu is a form of worship.
Yes.
And you came reading the Quran. Worship?
Yes.
Is looking at the Quran worship?
To be honest, I don't really know.
Yes,
I
yes,
think so, yes.
of course it is, of course it is. So I say that this is a benefit that you have memorized it. So I gave you points for that. I would have loved to see you also looking at it. When we do khatma of the Quran in Ramadan, when we get to the short surah, Al-Qisar, we still look at it. Kawthar, any of these other chapters, because there's a benefit. An-nadhar ila al-Quran ibadah. So combine that just to maximize and optimize the fruitful blessings that shower from the Quran al-Karim, as is your namesake, Sharif. Otherwise, I have nothing to say, but except I have a question for you. Yes. You competed in East Africa in tartil or hifz?
So normally I compete in hifz.
Oh, so you compete in memorizing the Quran?
Yes.
Okay. MashaAllah, how inspiring. Ahsant Habibi. A round of applause for Hussein Ali Sharif.
Brilliant. Right, ladies and gentlemen, without taking much of your time, please put your hands together for contestant number 2, first female participant for episode 5, day 5, Sister Fahmida Mahboob Danji.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you, sister? Are you okay? Nervous? Kind of. Right. I believe you're giving us a lecture.
Yes.
Right. Said Muhammad Hassan, over to you, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sister Fahmida. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. What will you be lecturing about tonight, inshallah?
Inshallah, I'll be looking into the aspect of contentment with patience in relation to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain alayhi salam.
The aspect of contentment in relation to patience,
Yes.
connected to the patience of Abi Abdullah al-Hussain alayhi
Yes.
salam. What a beautiful topic. How long have you been lecturing for?
Quite some time now. I'm actually a Quran teacher.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
And I love that combination. More lecturers should enter the world of the Quran as well, so they can back up their statements and substantiate their knowledge. May Allah bless you. The stage is yours.
Jazakallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. How many times do we wake up in the morning or before we go to sleep? We tend to scroll on our phones, Instagram, Facebook pages. Oh wow, what a beautiful car, branded clothes. Oh, they went on an adventure. And slowly, that feeling of discontentment and dissatisfaction starts trickling into our hearts. Although we might say, MashaAllah, I'm very happy for them, but the mere feeling of discontentment leads to lots of vices and disadvantage. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala draws our attention to Surah Al-Taha, verse number 181, where Allah mentions, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, وَلَا تَمُدَّنَّ عَيْنَيْكَ إِلَى مَا مَتَّعْنَا أَزْوَاجًا مِّنْهُمْ. That, and do not stretch your eyes in longing to what we have given them. For remember, not everything that we have given could be a blessing. Remember that it could be a test, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not chosen you for that specific test. Little did you know that you might not be able to bear it. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us of His bounties, be it in Surah Al-Rahman or Surah Al-Waqi'ah and other places in the Quran, and Allah keeps on telling us, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيد. That thank me for the bounties that I've given you. For if you thank me, I will increase in them for you. And if you do kufr to those bounties, then remember, my punishment is indeed severe. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it very clear to us in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayahs 155 and 156, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. For this life is not Jannah. This life is not a roller coaster ride. Remember, my brothers and sisters, Allah will test you in every way. This life is a place full of pains. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives good news. Can you guess to who? None other but the Sabirin. And who are the Sabirin? Allah describes them in the next verse. That for when an affliction befalls upon them, they say, we come from Him and to Him do we return. It is fully manifested within their actions, within their lives, and the realization has come into them that, remember, this life is temporary. This life is a temporary transit, and we'll have to go. Not an atom's weight of good or bad will be unaccountable for in the day of judgment. That is why I look into this topic of contentment, topped up with patience. For Imam Ali alayhi salam has mentioned from Ghurar al-Hikam that the only way for the reformation of man is through contentment. Another quote of Imam Ali alayhi salam where he says, Al-abdu hurrum ma qani'a wal-hurru abdum ma tami'a. That a man who is a slave can only be free through the quality of contentment. And a man who is free can only be a slave through the negative quality of greed. And that is a great lesson for us to learn from. Let us now draw our attention to the plains of Karbala and go to the plains of Karbala where we see the soul of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam departing from his body. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls out unto his servant in Surah Al-Fajr, Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'inna, irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyya, fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. This is a personal invitation from a Lord to a very special servant. How did Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam attain this quality of being named and being called nafs mutma'in? The reason being because he had achieved the highest levels of qana'ah, the highest levels of contentment and satisfaction. He had that quality of being called nafs mutma'in, because not even for a blink of an eye did he move back from his mission to save Islam, for they knew what was coming for them and waiting for them is far much greater. The light of Islam shines upon us because of their sacrifice today. And in conclusion, I would like to leave you all with a gift, which is none other than from the Almighty Himself, where He calls out unto us and He tells us that, oh my servant, whenever you feel that you're not at peace, you feel a sense of discontentment and dissatisfaction, remember, Ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. Verily, with the remembrance of Allah, do hearts find peace. Wassalamun alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wow, you can keep this, just need to. Absolutely brilliant. Our hearts are content, but you will have to be patient to see if you have done enough to convince the 4 judges for a ticket to the next round. We start with Sayyid Mohammed Hassan, please.
You said it better than I could, MJ. Brilliant, absolutely. You were very comfortable and you were confident. You dominated the stage. You controlled the crowd. One thing that is very important for many and almost every speaker, depending on the circumstances, to do is always interact with the crowd when appropriate. So when you recited the verses, you would go to the end, but you would let the crowd continue. And so that was very beautiful. الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا إِنَّا لِلَّهِ, and then the crowd would continue for you. Because the whole time the crowd is just a recipient of what you're saying. When you can flip that, walau temporarily, then that's actually a very good thing. It's a net positive. I love that you used the Arabic Quran when you reference the Quran. It's not bad to use the English, but when you use the Arabic, it means that you did your work, that you studied, because you're here to speak to people arguably for 30 minutes to an hour possibly. They value their time. So if you show that you also value their time by doing the work and memorizing, everyone appreciates that. And the only time you use the English in referencing the Quran is after you had already used the Arabic, which is just a positive and academically correct thing to do. Your pauses were very good. The only thing I can say, because you're a complete lecturer, mashallah, is the pace may have been a little fast. I had this habit growing up. When I started that career of speaking, everyone would tell me, bro, slow down. You're too fast. We need to keep up with you. Because what you're saying many a times is very valuable, but also comprehensive. So that needs its moment to digest. The hadith references were there. You didn't just say Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen said this. You also referenced it. And you took us to Karbala, as every good lecturer should do when referencing the beautiful merits of the Quran, of patience, of sabr. You brought it back to Imam al-Hussain. And I was waiting for that ayah. You brought it at the very end. Ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. You have absolutely all the qualities of a good lecturer. And for that, I stand up to you, sister.
Said Ali, over to you, please.
Sister, Jazakumullah khair jaza. Clearly, you're a Quran lecturer and teacher, and you gave Basically, it was a Quran theme. And I just want to let the lecturers know, sticking to your theme is very important, because if a person, one of the points that I have here regarding notes regarding lecturing, waffling on is really deemed as a bad thing, i.e. diverging away from the topic. You did not diverge for an ounce. You kept it so on topic. You went from one Quran analogy to another Quran analogy, and then you finished off with the hadith and obviously the Karbala situation. The first point though was very important regarding the phone. And this goes to the young people here. A lot of people have their social media, the main ones, on the first page of their phone, be it iPhone or whatever phone it is. Just to reduce this contentment, I'm just adding on just to complement what you were saying. Something that they taught us is, your main social media account, move it to another page so you're not going to access it as much. And this is critical because the more that you use it in an unhealthy way, the less content you are. I am very content with your lecture. Jazakallah.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Sister Fahmida Danji. Ali Akbar Muhammad Ali Kirmani. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you?
I am fine.
We have matam from you, or is it a marsha that you're going to recite?
No, I'm going to recite Mankabat.
Okay, Mulla Muhammadjawad Karim, over to you.
MashaAllah, my dear brother Ali Akbar Muhammad Ali Kirmani. May I ask how old you are?
I am 10 years old.
You are 10 years old?
Yes.
MashaAllah. And I too love the outfit. I feel like we're matching today.
Thank you.
Which manqabat are you reciting today?
I'm going to recite a Mankabat of Imam Ali alayhi salam.
MashaAllah.
Ali pasand hai mujhe.
This basically means I like Ali, but the pasand can be translated as love as well. MashaAllah, it's a great manqabat. I wish you the best of luck.
I'm going to start with a few ashar
MashaAllah.
of Imam Ali alayhi salam.
Bismillah.
कभी दीवार हिलती है, कभी दर कांप जाता है, अली का नाम सुनकर अभी खैबर कांप जाता है.
MashaAllah.
शाह मर्दान अली, शाह मर्दान अली, शेरे अज़दान अली, अली हक अली मौला अली मौला अली अली हक अली मौला अली मौला अली अली. नारा हैदरी हैदरी, जलाल जुल जलाल है अली अली, खुदा का हम ख्याल है
अली अली.
जलाल जुल जलाल है, खुदा का हम ख्याल है. बुलंदियाँ ये देख के
क्या बात है.
पुकारा दिल मेरा, अली पसंद है बहुत पसंद है,
अली पसंद है मुझे.
हाँ
अली पसंद है,
बहुत पसंद है,
अली पसंद है मुझे. माशाल्लाह.
रजब की तेरहवीं को ये बुतों से काबा बोल उठा, चलो यहाँ से जाब तो जितना न रह लिया, खुदा का है ये फैसला, अली अली है जिसका घर वो आ गया, अली अली खुदा का है ये फैसला, है जिसका घर वो आ गया. नहीं पसंद मुझको तुम मुझे तो बस मेरा अली पसंद है बहुत पसंद है.
अली पसंद है मुझे. जियो. माशाल्लाह.
अली पसंद है बहुत पसंद है,
अली पसंद है मुझे.
सब मिलके
माशाल्लाह. अली पसंद है बहुत पसंद है अली पसंद है मुझे क्या बात है
ये कहा खुदा ने खुद खुदा से
वाह वाह
मिले हैं आज मुस्तफा ज़मीं पे अपने भाई से नबी की गोद में
वाह अली अली
जब तो नजर मिली
अली अली
नबी की गोद में
माशाल्लाह
जब तो नजर मिली अली जो मुस्कुराए तो ये बोले मुस्तफा अली पसंद है
बहुत पसंद है अली पसंद है मुझे
अली पसंद है बहुत पसंद है
अली पसंद है मुझे
बर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलावत
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला
Muhammad.
मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद
Right, Mulla Muhammedjawad Karim, over to you.
बहुत शुक्रिया Do you understand Urdu?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just say this. मुझे वैसे अली तो पसंद है लेकिन आज मुझे अली अकबर भी पसंद है शुक्रिया से जलाल अली अकबर I'm lost for words honestly your smile is infectious I actually don't have anything negative written down or sort of feedback. I actually have one, but it's not really negative. It's just a tip. You have a very strong voice for your age. 10 years old, you would, I think, say Jalal again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but you used your chest a lot of the time. You know, heavy voice in that 10-year-old is amazing. Good stage presence, excellent. Hand movements were appropriate, exactly you knew. And for a 10-year-old, again, your Urdu is phenomenal. So credit to whoever's teaching you Urdu. Your hand actions match, you smiled. The only thing I would say to you, I mean, this is not a criticism. I would have loved in your voice to hear the Dam Hamadam Ali 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 Mola Dam Hamadam Ali 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 Mola Dam Hamadam Ali Ali Ali
मौला
Dam Hamadam Ali 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 Mola Ali Mola
हैदर हैदर
माशाल्लाह
हैदर हैदर
माशाल्लाह
हैदर हैदर
Haydar, 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 Haydar. MashaAllah. For you, I'm just going to stand and say, excellent job, and I really hope to hear more of you. Ahsantum.
Ahsant. Said Ali, a part of Ali Akbar reminds you of that Iraqi side of, I mean, if he went into the Iraqi culture, and I think if he did the Latam, he's got that Basim
Yes,
command of going
He's
arms
got-
everywhere.
100%. He's definitely got so much stage presence as he can look from left to right, hand movement appropriate to the usage of the poetry that was written. Your voice is still developing at this age from the aspect of the pitch of it, but I think you're going to develop into a bass or a baritone, which is the lower scale reciting voices, which means you can resonate the room with your loud, deep voice. And this is very important and critical because, for example, for myself, I'm a tenor, which is the higher end of the reciters. So, for example, if I was going to recite something about Imam Ali, Nadi Ali, that's very high. You can complement it with a low pitch. That's why you find a lot of people who go into the studio who are a tenor, they need a bass or a baritone to complement it. So you got a higher and a low pitch, it adds more volume. So that was fantastic. And I don't know about you, MJ, but I'm feeling a very loving Imam Ali atmosphere tonight.
Indeed.
So Assalamu alaikum ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. Also very interesting how I don't know, might be a Urdu style, but when they go haq in the middle, That's a very interesting,
It's very Urdu.
nice flavor to recitation that perhaps we can bring over to the Arab world. You've got a big future ahead of you, young man. Jazakallah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Ali Akbar Kirmani. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us a Quran reciter. Please put your hands together in welcoming Sister Zahra Bashir. Ladies and gentlemen, a young blood has come in. A round of applause like that is not sufficient enough. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you?
Fine.
How old are you, if I may ask?
8.
Say, Jalal, we have an 8-year-old
Reciter of the Holy
about
Quran.
to wow us with the recitation of the Holy Quran.
Zahra, when did you first start reciting of the Holy Quran?
When I was 5,
5. Who was your first teacher?
my mom.
Your mom. Have you participated in any competitions?
Yeah.
Did you get any first positions or second positions, like something like this?
Every competition.
Okay. So you participated, you get result, yes? MashaAllah. So what surah you're going to recite for us?
I'm going to recite Surah Al-Duha with an insight about it.
MashaAllah.
SHIA'S Got Talent.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم. Have you ever felt low and sad when someone so close to you does not communicate with you for a very long time? Don't you miss their voice and presence? Of course we do. Well, that is how Rasulullah felt when there came a time where the revelations from Allah did not descend upon him for a very long time. Surah Al-Duha is one of those surahs revealed to Rasulullah, whereby Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is comforting him and expressing his love for his messenger in a very special way. I will now recite this very blessed surah before looking into the lessons we can learn from the word Duha, which is from our greatest darska, which is none other than from Karbala itself. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على رسول الله وآله الأطهار على رسول الله وآله الأطهار. أحسنتم بارك الله فيكم.
Ahsant. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Sister Zahra Bashir.
I begin in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swear by the word Duha? What is the Duha? Duha refers to the early hours of the day, the most beautiful and breathtaking moments of the day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing Rasulullah by telling him, do not worry or feel sad, for the brightness is yet to come into your life. This is a great lesson for us to learn from, especially when we feel gloomy and stressed out of the worries of our daily lives. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to know that brighter days are yet to come. Just like in the history of Karbala, no matter how severe the atrocities were, yet neither did the family of Rasulullah complain, nor did they ever think of giving up. Why? Because they were aware of what was waiting for them in the Akhirah is much better and everlasting. Look at the results of Karbala today. The religion of Islam is the Duha, which is shining upon us all. Let us all raise our hands in dua and ask the Almighty to never forsake us and to grant us the strength to bear the test of this temporary life, so as to reap the fruits of our patience, which will be the Duha in our lives. بحق أبا عبد الله الحسين عليه السلام. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Allah.
Come. Never stand here. No. You can stand here with me. That's fine. Right, ladies and gentlemen, there's a few things that I noticed, and I don't think many of you have noticed since it's packed here. Sister Zahra recited from her heart and her mind. The Quran was not open, so she has memorized the surah and the tafsir and the explanation before and after. So she deserves a bigger round of applause, please. Right, Sayyid Jalal, over to you, please.
Wow, beautiful recitation, Zahra. Is Sister Fahmida your teacher? Who is your teacher, by the way?
Oh, my malim.
Your?
My malim.
Mu'alim. We call it Mu'alim. What is her name or his name?
I don't know his name.
Wow. So
I think, Sayyid Jalal, that means that the akhlaq is so high that the teacher is only being referred to as the teacher without a name.
MashaAllah. That's another aspect. Zahra, beautiful recitation. I really liked the translation and interpretation you have done and connection to Karbala. The reason this surah has revealed, it's very important. You recited in Tartil. Next time, try to copy Abdul Basit or any other reciters. Okay, they recite in Tahqiq. Like this. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى. Until the end of the surah. I want you to practice like this. But you have done a great job. What I can do, I stand up for you.
Ahsant. Sure.
I'm actually Hammam.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, mashallah.
Fahmida, remain there. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Ahsant. Sayyid Muhammad Hassan, please.
Habibti Zahra, MashaAllah. You read from Surah Al-Duha in ayah number 5. وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. Can you help me with the translation? And your Lord shall give you until you are satisfied. The humankind, al-bashariyah, humanity, gives to Allah until hopefully Allah is satisfied. With Rasulullah, Allah says, I will give you until you are satisfied. The only other ayah of the Holy Quran that says, I gave with the same wording, أعطيتك, is what? Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. In reference to the person you come with that name that you're wearing, Zahra, salamullahi alayha. You brought us today great satisfaction. We believe the rida of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has now been established, and it's no surprise, as we just saw earlier, the apple does not fall far from the tree. I am very proud of you, mashallah. Ahsant, ahsant,
Ahsant, ahsant. Right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Sister Zahra Bashir. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome contestant number 5 for the first time ever, Alia and Samia Abbas Versi. Right, what do we have from you today? What are you going to recite today?
A poem about baby Sakina.
Sayyid Ali, over to you, please.
Jazakumullah khair, Jaza MJ. So I've never seen two poets who, are you guys twins?
Yes.
Twins, fantastic. So two poets who are twins that are going to recite. I've seen two Noha reciters who are twins, and their voices were fantastic in a different show in Iraq. But I've never seen two poets. Whose idea was it? Did you guys write the poetry?
No.
You took the poetry. And whose idea was it to start reciting the poetry? Was it Alia or Samia?
Both.
Both of you, mashallah. By the way, who's Alia, who's Samia?
I'm Alia.
You're Alia, you're Samia, fantastic. Just so I can know whose is who, fantastic. And why did you pick Sayyidah Sakina? Why did you want to write? Why do you want to talk about her today?
Because she inspired us.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. And she
Allah,
inspires us all.
Allah.
Barakallah
She's an
feekum.
inspiration to us.
Allah.
Ahsantum, ahsantum. I want you to take your time. Don't worry about anything. Do it as exactly as you practiced at home. Jazakallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Bibi Sakina, daughter of Imam Hussain, a symbol of strength and sacrifice, a noble name. She was a tender child, just a little girl, but her courage and conviction made the world swirl. In Karbala, she witnessed a gruesome scene, the loss of her family, a heart-wrenching dream. Her father, brothers, and uncles all slain, but she remained steadfast in her faith to sustain. She was taken captive and her veil was torn, yet she remained resolute, her faith not worn. She endured the hardships, the pain, and the strife. With patience and grace, she led a righteous life. Her captors were amazed by her strength and her poise, her unwavering voice. She reminded them of the Prophet and his teaching so true. They were humbled by her and all that she knew. Bibi Sakina, a symbol of courage and love, a messenger of peace from the heavens above. Her sacrifice and devotion and inspiration to all, a shining example of how to stand tall. Thank you.
Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
That's yours to keep. Right. Said Ali, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, mashallah. Beautiful presentation regarding a member of the noble Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Who's with you here today, Mum or Dad, or both?
My mom.
MashaAllah, inshallah, she's a very proud mother of you two. You used rhyming couplets, so basically every two lines you'd rhyme them together, but then sometimes you went off the rhyme, and that gave a different mix, because sometimes if people just do rhyme, 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 it actually takes away from the niceness of the poem. Sometimes you need to break through, and you did that just over half of the poetry. Near the end, you mixed it in, which was very nice. The poetry had very nice use of metaphors to complement the actual wording, and very good use of adjectives. I think that this would be a very good start to maybe you guys writing your own poetry as well. You know, you guys are 9 years old, so if you guys started, you would beat my brother by 2 years. So you guys could take advantage of this time and start writing together, okay? So you'd write one, and then you'd write one back, and then you compare, and you see who did better. Then you switch over, and you keep going, and then that way you can improve. Use different skills, like using blank verse, which has no rhythm. It's just you write as you go, and then that adds even more flavor. but you guys looked straight ahead, you looked to the crowd, which was a good sign of good presentation. Jazakumullah khair al-jaza.
Brilliant, said Ali. Sayyid Muhammad Hassan, please.
Assalamu alaikum, Aliya, how are you?
Walaikum salam, I'm fine.
Assalamu alaikum, Samia, how are you?
Alaikum salam, I'm fine.
Good, alhamdulillah. How do you feel after having presented in this piece? Feel confident?
Yeah.
Happy? Good. I like the line that Bibi Sukaina or Sakina, depending on cultures, is an inspiration from above. I think that line, you know which one I'm talking about, is indicative of the fact that she is endorsed from the heavens, that God Almighty oversees her, and that she's an inspiration because of her devotion to God. You writing about her reminded me of exactly that idea. And so I keep encouraging you, just keep doing this for the sake of Allah, and your work will go out there. I love that you guys did this. It's very beautiful. And I love that you're a team. Work together, work together. Humans are social creatures. We need each other. Work together. And may Allah bless you, honestly. I can't wait to read more and hear more of your work.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Alia and Samia.
MJ, if I can just have everybody's attention, I've just had a note for the contestants, Sister Fahmida Mehboob Danji and Zahra Bashir, mother and daughter. We've had, somebody has just said from the crowd that if either one or both the mum and the daughter get to the final, they will be, irrespective one or both, there will be 2 tickets. There's a sponsor here that will fly them from Arusha to Dar es Salaam.
MashaAllah.
The sponsor, am I allowed to say the sponsor? Yeah, flight link. So, Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and join me in welcoming contestant number 6 for episode 5, Haidar Ali Fazal. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Right, are you going to recite Quran for us?
No, I'll be reciting dua.
Dua.
Allah.
Allah.
MashaAllah.
Right, said Ali, this is your forte.
Which dua are you going to read for us today?
I will be starting with dua Hujjah
Yes.
to welcome our living Imam Hujjat al-Qaim al-Muntazir al-Mahdi.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
After which I'll be reciting a short dua which gives me a lot of strength and everyone here will feel the energy.
Ooh.
Followed by...
Which dua is that?
It is a short dua which starts with Allahumma salli ala Fatima.
Okay, perfect. And then the one after that?
After that, I'll be reciting Allahumma adkhil ala ahli al-qubur
Excellent.
as-surur.
Okay.
I will request an amin at the end of each verse.
At your service,
After
inshallah.
which I'll be reciting a dua which is recited in the month of Safar.
Okay.
And I will end it with the last verses of Ziyarat al-Ashura.
And do we have time for all this?
Right, that's what I was just wondering.
Can you do that in 5 minutes?
Maybe.
Yeah, okay, no problem. And you're going to have different tunes between one, or is it different, same tune?
Different tunes.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's see what happens. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على فاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها وسر المستودع فيها عدد ما أحاط به علمك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور. اللهم أغن كل فقير. اللهم اشبع كل جائع. اللهم اكس كل عريان. اللهم قض دين كل مدين. اللهم فرج عن كل مكروب. اللهم رد كل غريب. اللهم فك كل أسير. اللهم أصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين. اللهم اشف كل مريض. اللهم سد فقرنا بغناك. اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك. اللهم اقض عنا الدين وأغننا من الفقر إنك على كل شيء قدير.
وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا شديد القوى ويا شديد المحال. يا عزيز يا عزيز يا عزيز. ذلت بعظمتك جميع خلقك فاخفني شر خلقك. يا محسن يا مجمل يا منعم يا مفضل. يا لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. فاستجبنا له ونجيناه من الغم وكذلك ننجي المؤمنين. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم لعن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له على ذلك. اللهم لعن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم لعنهم جميعا. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار. ولا جعله الله لآخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. اللهم خص أنت أول ظالم باللعن مني وابدأ به أولا ثم الثاني والثالث والرابع. اللهم لعن يزيد بن معاوية خامسا والعن عبيد الله بن زياد وابن مرجانة وعمر بن سعد وشمرا وآل أبي سفيان وآل زياد وآل مروان إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم لك الحمد حمد الشاكرين لك على مصابهم. الحمد لله على عظيم رزيتي. اللهم ارزقني شفاعة الحسين يوم الورود. اللهم ارزقني شفاعة الحسين يوم الورود. اللهم ارزقني شفاعة الحسين يوم الورود. وثبت لي قدم صدق عندك مع الحسين وأصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين عليه السلام صلوات.
Wow, absolutely brilliant. I believe he can give Usain Bolt a run-in for his money with that stamina and speed. Sayyid Jalal, over to you, please.
Haydar Ali, when you were reciting, I thought maybe I am in Stanmore or in Haydari or maybe in Jafari Center. The way as your community, you are reciting beautifully the du'as. And really I appreciate that you, although that you memorized the dua, but you, in case you have your paper with you ready for the victory, you have recited all your du'as in one maqam, which is your favorite maqam, the maqam of your community, which is Nahawand. But Habibi, dua, usually we recite either in maqam al-ajam or maqam al-hijaz. Of course, when it is about sad occasion in Ziyarat Ashura, we go to maqam al-sabah. Yes, try to learn the maqamat, trying to just have it, I don't know if you have a teacher or no, but work on maqamat and as well work on your chest recitation, try to use your chest. Another thing which is common mistake, maybe you are listening to some dua reciters from Iran or from other places, you know, tajweed, of course, we don't apply the tajweed, but sifat al-huruf, like istifal, we apply it in the dua. We cannot say, for example, ali, or for example, fiha, yeah, في هذه الساعة, no, في هذه الساعة. This should be recited. Yeah, you see, في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا. No, ناصرا. Okay. Inshallah, you work on this. You have done a good job. Thank you very much. All the best for you.
Ahsan, Sayyid Jalal. Sayyid Muhammad Hassan, please.
Thank you, MJ. Haydar Ali, Jazakallah khair. Good work. Be happy. You recited very beautiful recitations. I love them. You have a beautiful voice. The same way you came dressed golden, the recitation was also golden.
Ahsan.
The thing I would like to ask from my fellow judges here, any one of you, is when he's reciting, it does come across nasally. This is your forte. How does one address that? Is it because of his age and this is just naturally the cycle of things, or how would one address addressing a more nasally sound or tune? How does someone go about doing that?
Basically, with the permission of the Asatidha. So basically, Nahawand is recited, of course, in this age, normally it is nasal. And that is the reason I mentioned try to work more on your chest area. Because this age, of course, we have seen other reciters like Manqabat, like Nawhad, they are using too much of the chest. But maybe it is his own style, which is reciting mainly from the head area or the throat area. But he has to practice, inshallah.
Yeah, it's a series of factors, but don't let that hold you down. There are adults that cannot, I'm not throwing shade, but that cannot recite as well as you did. So you should be very proud of yourself.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, if we have the golden buzzer,
for the golden boy
with the golden badge, we're still deciding whether it's from Iraq or Iran. But from now, ladies and gentlemen, let us appreciate the efforts of Haydar Ali Fazal with a loud round of applause. Right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our very own Sayyid Ali Al-Hakeem.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, MJ. Assalamu alaikum, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the show, and we are at your service, the beautiful community here in Dar es Salaam. There's a few requests regarding recitation, the Latmiya of walking to Karbala, and we are at your service. So I would like to bring the children on the stage. So I want maybe girls this side, boys this side. So I think the first 5-6 people to come on from each side can join us. Jazakumullah khair al-jaza. So of course we are trying to modernize Azar and lecturing, just like Sayyid Muhammad, how he's doing with his social media. And we found that animation is something that is very appealing for children, hence why we did this. Well, the intention was to counteract some negative thought on Arba'een, but anyway, alhamdulillah it worked. And of course, these are the soldiers of Imam al-Mahdi, inshallah, and we hope that they continued in the service of Ahlul Bayt, and I pray to God that we see more people doing animation. So whoever's interested in doing these things, please support these individuals. Guys, do you know this Walking to Karbala one? Yes. Okay, and girls, do you guys know it? Yes. So what we're going to do is, when I'm going to recite it, I want you all to recite it very loudly. And at the end, I'm going to tell you who was loudest, girls or boys, okay? But bear in mind, guys, this is a noha, so no smiling. This is matam. This is a sad one, okay? Okay? Okay, so it's not clapping, it's matam. This, okay? Fantastic, ahsant. Right, we can just crack on. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Walking to Karbala. From Najaf to Karbala, walking to Karbala. From Najaf to Karbala, I'll give my life and soul just to.
Let's go, brother, to the land of Abba Abdullah. Go and pack your bags, let's reach the land of Karbala. We cannot be late, we must go and catch our flight. Soon we'll be under the dome of Karbala's great night. This is Arba'in. Let's go do the Arba'in. Everyone, this is Arba'in. Let's go do the Arba'in of Imam Hussain. Let's perform the Arba'in. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. Walking to Karbala. Come and let us visit our first beloved Imam. Do ask him for our safety through the path of Islam. The start of our journey, we walk past Wadi Salam. This is the biggest graveyard in the whole of mankind. Walk, walk, brother, walk. Don't get tired, you can walk. Walk, walk, brother, walk. Don't get tired, you can walk. The angels do record, and God will give us walking. Walking to Karbala. MashaAllah. Adults as well. I'll give my life and soul just to get to Karbala. Look at all of these servants of Imam Al-Hussain, giving water to the walkers of he who was slain. In the whole world, this is the most generous event. People, let us stay with them so that we can lament. Thank you, O Allah, for this blessing, O Allah. Thank you, O Allah, for this blessing, O Allah. For my heart to be near, so close to our Amir. Walking to, louder. Hey, walking to Karbala. I'll give my life and soul just to get to. Did you know every step we take gives us big blessings? 1,000 deeds we get and 1,000 remove sins. We have now reached the blessed land of our third leader. We ended in the land of heaven of our teacher. Labbaika Hussain, I am here for you, Hussain. Labbaika Hussain, I am here for you, Hussain. Every year, inshallah, I'll come walking to Hussain. Walking to MashaAllah, walking to From Najaf to Karbala, I'll give my life and soul just to get to. Again, walking to. With the adults as well. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. I'll give my life and soul just to get to Karbala. Salawat. Jazakumullah khair jaza. Beautiful recitation, and thank you very much for the adults to participation. I would like to announce the winner of this small competition, girls or boys. I think because there was more boys, perhaps the boys, but if there was the same amount of girls, it's the girls. So it's a draw. Thank you very much. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we need some energy in this room, so please put your hands together and help me in welcoming contestant number 7 tonight, Brother Asif Okera. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Stressed? No. Not at all? Yeah, that's what we need. No stress. I believe you're reciting a ma'atam? Marsha. Over to you, Mulla Muhammedjawad Karim, please.
My brother Asif Okera, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
We had an Arif Okera. Is he related to you?
Yeah, he's my cousin.
Okay, so we've got more family, mashallah. And you're going to be reciting a Marsiya today. Which one?
It's related to Bibi Sakina.
Can you give the brief sort of couplet at the start? What's the kalam?
It's a very emotional conversation between a father and a daughter. So the first line will be Meri Sakina is tarhana rona. That means that Bibi Sakina, my Sakina, please don't cry this way. Please don't cry this way.
MashaAllah, Bismillah. We're looking forward to your Marsiya.
Stand.
Aakhri salam, aakhri salam, aakhri salam, aakhri salam, meri sakina is tarh na rona. Sab milke meri sakina is tarh na rona, meri sakina is tarh. तुम जाओ कहाँ अल्लाह जाने, मकतल में रहे किस हाल में हम. तुम जाओ कहाँ अल्लाह जाने, मकतल में रहे किस हाल में हम. अब ख्वाब में बाबा आएंगे, अब ख्वाब में बाबा आएंगे, चाहे शाम का वो जिंदा हो वे मेरी सकीना इस तरह ना रोना, मेरी सकीना इस तरह. हम जाते हैं मिलने बाबा से, अब लौट के हमको आना नहीं. कुछ कुछ देर लिपट जा सीने से, फिर बाप का सीना मिलना नहीं, सो जाना जहाँ फूफिया के दे, सो जाना जहाँ फूफिया के दे, चाहे शाम का वो जिंदा होवे मेरी सकीना, इस तरह ना रोना। सब मिलके पढ़िए, मेरी सकीना। जाने दे मुझे मैदान की तरफ, देना ये तुझे कुर्बानी है, रहवार के मेरे पाँव ना, पर मेरी बची तुझसे दानी है, जीना है तुझे ज़हरा की तरह, जीना है तुझे ज़हरा की तरह, चाहे शाम का वो जिंदा हो वे मेरी सकीना, इस तरह ना रोना मेरी सकीना, इस तरह ना रोना, इस तरह ना रोना, इस तरह ना रोना। सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला
मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद व अज्जिल फरजा। माशाअल्लाह।
An emotional recitation, a poem that many of us can relate to. Growing up in Dar, this is one of those that was always recited on the Shahada of Sayyidah Ruqayya. Mulla Muhammad Abbas Karim, over to you please.
Ahsantum. Brother Asif Okera, what a beautiful recitation. The way you recited this kalam, I felt like it was made for you, specifically for you. It was a good choice and it really suited your voice. You had a very nice pitch, really appropriate for this style of recitation, and the pace was brilliant as well. And I love how your stage presence is. It's a very Soz Khan-like stage presence. Your humility is coming across in every sort of thing you're doing, which is brilliant. I felt maybe on the antre, on the verses, maybe you were holding back a little bit. You have the ability. It's in your blood, the high notes. So, you definitely have the ability. And I say this because the way you said, there was one towards the end, one of the antres, you said, the way you delivered the word Jina, and then the last Istarhana Rona shows me that you've got a lot of capability in the sort of dynamism of your voice, if that makes sense. A few words of advice, inshallah, for the next round. I think a lot of all these pieces of feedback are related to recitation from the chest. So if you use recitation from the chest, for example, you started the word, it was more like akhri. When it's, I don't know the tune of this kalam, but it's more like akhri. It's very small, but if it comes from here, it'll be more like akhri. I really like that you chose to hold the mic. So I would like the mic to be moved in accordance to the pitch, because the words will be more clear. So when you go up, move the mic far. And it's very clear that you understand Urdu. But I would like, inshallah, in the next round, if you go through, just work on some of the pronunciation. So the word is zinda, and a lot of times I was hearing zinda, but I know you knew what it meant. Overall, beautiful voice, especially for Marcia, really heartfelt recitation. May Bibi be pleased with you. Ahsantum.
Ahsan. Ladies and gentlemen, an individual who's kept everything aside, was supposed to recite yesterday but has been available because we had a cancellation today because of an emergency, and Brother Asif agreed to come in and recite today. A big round of applause, please.
Jazakallah,
Said
Asif.
Ali.
I mean, that is something very commendable for a person to come from abroad. You arrived at 4:30.
4:30.
Not abroad, sorry, because we're in Britain, so everything's abroad. But anyway, you came from a faraway place, from an unknown land to me, and you came and you took, I mean, it just shows about your humility and your respect. You're 19, aren't you?
I'm 21.
21, close enough. That's fine. 21, people twice your age are nowhere near as humble as you. And humility is a key part of recitation. It is so embedded, and you can even hear humility. If you listen closely, you can hear it. And I heard it with you. You've got a very nice voice, and you should definitely continue to progress in this. Just sometimes the pitch went a bit sharp when you're going up, and sometimes you went down, it went slightly flat, but these are minor adjustments that are very easily changeable with some more vocal ability and listening to more and more and more. But you are definitely a reciter already. So you already are a Noha reciter. We call you Mulla. Ahsant.
Ahsant. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Asif Okera. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for contestant number 8 for tonight, Brother Muhammad Shaukat Nasser. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good.
You okay?
Yep.
Are you from Dar?
Yeah.
Okay, because we keep having people from Arusha, Mwanza. Right. What do we have from you today? A matam?
Marsiya on Hazrat Ali Akbar.
Said Ali, over to you, please.
Habibi Muhammad, Jazakumullah khair. I just want to confirm your age. How old are you, please?
19.
19, ahsant. And how long have you been reciting for?
I started when I was 10, inspired when I went to Karbala.
Right.
That was my first recitation in Karbala.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it Bain al-Haramain?
No, in the hotel when I was.
Oh, in the hotel.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. And was it well received when you first recited?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So you're an experienced reciter, 9 years. That's a very good amount of time. And why did you pick Hadrat Ali Akbar alayhi salam?
You see, there is this point in time. I'm talking about the specific.
Yes, please.
So there is this point in time where, an old father, Imam Hussain, is seeing off his son, and then he's turning to his wife Layla and telling his son that please pray for him that he comes back alive, because a mother's dua for her son is never denied.
Ahsan. Thank you very much, Muhammad. Bismillah.
मरने के लिए जब चले मैदान में अकबर, पीछे चले गिरते हुए उठते हुए सरवर, जब दूर हुआ शाह की आँखों से वो दिलबर, लौट आए कहाँ मादरे अकबर से ये रोकर, लैला लैला दुआएं कीजिए जीता रहे अकबर, बेटे के हक में माँ की दुआ रद्द नहीं होती, लैला दुआएं कीजिए, रुखसत की घड़ी याद है तुम भी तो वहीं थी, अकबर के कलेजे से नजर हटती नहीं थी, अकबर के कलेजे से नजर हटती नहीं थी, लैला हमारे लाल का नाजुक सा है सीना, सीने पे न बेटा मेरा खाए कोई बरछी, लैला दुआएं कीजिए जीता रहे अकबर, बेटे के हक में माँ की दुआ रद नहीं होती, लैला दुआएं कीजिए। इस बात पे शबीर का दिल फटता है गम से, ऐसे तो कभी दूर ना अकबर हुए हमसे, ऐसे तो कभी दूर ना अकबर हुए हमसे। अकबर को जीता देख कर हम जीते रहे हैं, अकबर को मरता देख कर मर जाएंगे हम भी, लैला दुआएं कीजिए। मैं भूल नहीं पाऊंगा एहसान तुम्हारा, इस आलम गुर्बत में दो तुम साथ हमारा, इस आलम गुर्बत में दो तुम साथ हमारा। अकबर मेरा जवान और हम पर है ज़ईफ़ी, हमसे तो जवालाल की मैयत न उठेगी, लैला दुआएं कीजिए। लौटाया जो मैदान से शबीर का दिलबर, प्यासा हूँ बहुत बाप से कहने लगे अकबर, प्यासा हूँ बहुत बाप से कहने लगे अकबर। पानी पानी की बात आई तो रोने लगे मौला, खैमे की सिमत देख कर आवाज यहीं दी, लैला दुआएं कीजिए जीता रहे अकबर, बेटे के हक में माँ की दुआ रद नहीं होती, लैला दुआएं कीजिए। पर मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Ahsant. Sayyid Ali, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Muhammad, for a very heartfelt recitation. Just a question: was it spoken as if, say that, as Imam Hussain speaking, or who was speaking, or was it yourself, as in you're speaking about them?
No, see, Imam Hussain was talking to the mother of his son.
Right.
That you see that they had so many wishes
Yes.
that he would come back.
Okay.
And they would, yeah.
The reason why I asked is because normally when we're talking from that aspect, we try and express more, because when it's in first person, it's not third person. Third person is like I'm talking about somebody. This person did this and he did that. If it's from Imam Hussain speaking, you are going to do this, you are going to do that. That requires a bit more movement. Now, not too much movement, because the nature of this recitation is very soft. So don't overdo it. But you do it more, but gently. So I would like to see more of that. You've got a very nice, soft voice, accent, and that matched the type of recitation, the content of it. Well, we can improve our voice. We have vocal tension. That's how strong your voice is. We can make it stronger, and that is through vocal exercises. So keep on improving your voice, and that will enable you to be more flexible in your voice, things like vibrato, legato, and that will enable you to even perform better at the service of Hadrat Ali al-Akbar. Ahsant.
Ahsant, Sayyid Ali. Mulla Muhammadjawad Karim, please.
Brother Muhammad, that was a really heartfelt recitation. You actually had me in tears before you started. You're 19, you're inspired in Karbala. So many people would yearn to have this sort of inspiration in such a holy land. And I love your humility in the way that you've kind of presented yourself. You have a really smooth voice. Yeah. I loved how you acknowledged, when you said Ma, you pointed towards our mothers. That's
what
a really...
was my mom?
Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
God bless you, my brother. Your Urdu is quite nice. I think just one on the Urdu, overall is very good. Maybe on some words, for example, you said gurbat instead of ghurbat, but this will come with practice and just time. Overall, the Urdu is very good. The way you said the khayme ki simt was absolutely perfect. And you really felt the sort of those words. Just a few bits of sort of advice in terms of moving forward. Inshallah, if you make it to the next round, practice on holding your note at the end. So when you said at the start sarwar, the r of sarwar at the end, you did it nicely, but I think it can be improved in the sense that you can hold it. Again, that will come through practice. Practice on your low pitch, because you've got a nice high pitch, so just practice on your low pitch. Yeah. And as Sayyid Ali really aptly pointed out, if you push the emotion into the kalam, your recitations will be amazing. It was very, very good, but I think your recitation will be amazing. So my advice in terms of, we're running, but just maybe in what you were saying, if I can give an example on Bibi Sakina talking to Imam Hussain, in terms of putting expression into the kalam, there's a kalam which I know MJ will know as well, is, for example, Acha Baba Sulane to aoge na. Just a little bit in terms of just feeling the kalam. But in terms of just one last piece of advice, because I think it would really help, is practice high-pitched nohas like Ya Rab Koi Masooma. Alone, you can practice, close the doors, and just try and hit those high notes, and it will really help in terms of your pitch preparation. Thank you.
Maysam Rashid. Right. Mulla Muhammedjawad Karim, over to you, please.
Thank you, MJ. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Maysam.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Before we go into recitation, any particular reason for entering the...
Yes, so the main purpose for me was for the service of the Ahlul Bayt.
MashaAllah.
And I feel like this is a good opportunity for everyone else to show their talents out there.
Excellent.
And so that they can perform for the service of the Ahlul Bayt.
God bless you. Thank you so much. So what is it? Is it Matam today? Marcia?
So it's a Marcia.
Okay.
That is based on Hazrat Al-Yaskar.
And can you give us the matla or the first two lines? Just a gist.
So it starts, the chorus says, Aaj ki raat tujhe godi mein sulalu mere yaskar aaja.
A translation for this, please.
Aaj ki raat.
That means that this night, come sleep in my lap, O Al-Yaskar.
Yeah, this is from the context of his mother.
Yeah.
It's all yours. All the best.
So right, salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
आज की रात तुझे गोदी में सुला लूं मेरे असग़र आजा लोरी अरमानों से भरपूर सुना लूं मेरे असग़र आजा तीर के आगे मेरे लाल तुझे होना है देख कर तेरी हंसी जुल्म ने भी रोना है
तरीके है लड़ाई के सिखा लूं मेरे असग़र आजा पहले अल्लाह का मैं शुक्र बजा लाऊंगी अरे देख कर खून तेरा लाल मैं मर जाऊंगी मैं तुझे मौत की हिचकी से बचा लूं मेरे असग़र आजा अरे हुर्मलाए तो बता कैसा है इंसाफ तेरा बदले पानी के क्यों छीदा है वो नन्ना सा गला हुर्मलाए तो बता कैसा है इंसाफ तेरा बदले पानी के क्यों छीदा है वो नन्ना सा गला हाय मैं कैसे तेरी प्यास बुझाऊं मेरे असग़र आजा था ये अरमान मेरा दूध पिला लूं मैं तुझे है ये मजबूरी मेरी माफ तू कर लेना मुझे हाय मैं कैसे तेरी प्यास बुझा लूं मेरे असग़र आजा तुझको एक बार दफन बाबा तेरे कर देंगे फिर तुझे नेज़े सकीफ़ा के वहाँ ढूंढेंगे अरे दश्त की गर्म हवाओं से छुपा लूं मेरे असग़र आजा आज की रात तुझे गोदी में सुला लूं मेरे असग़र आजा सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद
अहसन
Sorry. Mulla Muhammad Karim, please.
Mason, what a beautiful rendition of what I believe is a very tough kalam. Do you know who this is composed by?
I believe it's from a teenager called Yusuf, if not mistaken.
Yeah, but the composition. The composition is by someone called Sayyid Zahir Naqvi. You must have heard of him. He's based in Canada. To be able to recite his compositions is no joke. And I felt that you did justice to this kalam, mashallah. Absolutely beautiful recitation. You have a very mature voice for your age. I wish I had your voice when I was your age. You're 16, right?
17.
17. Still wish that. The variation in your voice is really good. You did the hardest part of the kalam. Just do the second line of any like na 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 na. The second part na 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 na. Do one line. Whatever, anything.
Okay, so
I just want the crowd to appreciate that. Before you continue, just read the words. Badle
pani ke kyun chida hai.
Just listen to the second line. Bismillah.
Badle pani ke kyun chida hai.
The pani, if you appreciate how he's recited this pani, it is absolutely perfect. Ahsantum, it's so nicely recited. But I'm going to just give you some advice, inshallah, in the next round. Your strength could also be a weakness. So you have so much control on your voice for your age. Sometimes I felt some of those variations were used maybe in the places where they shouldn't be used. So for example, Aja, Mere asghar Aja, that instead of Mere asghar Aja. Just the Aja, you didn't do it wrong, by the way. I just felt like because you've got so much control on your voice, you're using it everywhere. Certain places you don't need to show the variation. You have the ability. The other thing I would have liked, it's such a beautiful tune. I would have liked you to let the crowd engage more. That would have given you a time to breathe. You didn't lose your breath, by the way. But just, I would have loved to recite Aj Kirat with you. So overall, it was a great. I just want to say one thing. Use your chest. I feel your voice is really made for this forte, Noha, Marcia. So I think you're going to go very far, my brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hassan.
Said Ali, please.
Habibi, thank you very much for your amazing recitation. You have such a strong voice, and you're only 17. 17-year-olds don't normally have a voice like this. To be honest, I've never heard of a voice of a 17-year-old like that. So you have so much potential, and I really, really appreciated how you fluctuated from some fluctuation to then just soft, smooth. Obviously, I don't understand the words that you're saying, but I fully felt it. So, fluctuation, smooth, you alternated, so I really appreciated the difference there, and I'm assuming the sad parts were with the sad parts, and the less sad parts you did more fluctuation, more variation. I'm sure the family that you've come with are very proud of you, and we certainly are. Ahsant.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Maitham Rashid. Help me in welcoming contestant number 10, our female participant. Once again, please put your hands together for Sakina Bojani. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good, alhamdulillah. Are you from Dar es Salaam as well?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have another traveler with us. I believe you're giving a lecture?
No. I'm reciting a poetry that I wrote myself. It's about Bibi Zainab, and it's based on her very famous saying, Ma ra'ita illa jamila.
Ahsant. Said Ali, over to you, please.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show. I wanted to know, Sister Sakina, how old are you?
16.
16. And how long have you been writing your own poetry?
Since I was 11 or...
Right. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I'm always excited to hear other poets and gain knowledge from them and learn from them and develop. And of course, we work together as poets, inshaAllah. Why specifically did you pick Sayyida Zainab alayhi salam?
There was no specific reason. It's just that when you look at the Ahlul Bayt, there are so many people with so many inspirations, but Sayyida Zainab stands out because she supported all of them. She bore the pain of Imam Hussain, she bore the pain of Lady Sakina, she bore the pain of Imam Sajjad. So her sabr, that's something really inspiring.
Ahsant. Amazing answer. Take your time. Bismillah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Of Bani Hashim's high virtues, she was the inheritor, the Kohinoor of Ahmed's treasure, the crown of Murtaza, the knower of Sayyida Zahra's secrets, Az-Zahra's reflection, Al-Mujtaba's Jannah, the most beautiful rose of Imam Hussein's garden, a rose that on the path of truth has left behind blossoming seeds, the rose which has thorns that only prick the eyes of Yazid, a red rose whose redness is a metaphoric symbol of her love in Allah's way, her sacrificial, a red rose who become fiery red flames of destruction of the judicial, of the doers of evil deeds. The commander of the caravan of captivated women and children, a witness of trampled bodies of her dearest brethren, the pain of losing 18 Yusuf she took with her, the eyes like Yaqub, then yearned the sight of God's apostles she took with her, to the court of Ibn Marjana. The tyrant sat in front of her with much audacity too, and prompted her saying, "See what your Lord has done to you." Hiding in his palace, he thought he was safe. He was scared of Abbas' sword in Karbala. Ali's daughter, on behalf of her brother, hit him with a fatal blow that had the power of Haidar.
Allah.
If my Lord has done this to me, ma ra'ayta illa jamila, she said to the likes of Ashab al-Fil. Karbala was a manifestation of sabr, and as in the Kitab Allah say, فَصَبْرٍ jamil. If I were asked to write the meaning of sabr, I would have written Zainab and broken my pen. Who could have bore except her valor the tragedies of 10 and 11, hearing the masab of the 10th wrung her hearts that they needed to be cleansed, and the thought of 11 squeezed out all the blood from them. Our hearts bled. Ya Zainab bint Zahra wa Ali, in Karbala, what beauty did you see? Between your brother's broken mashk and the cries of children's al-atash, the ability to see beauty in tragedy, please also teach me. Is it your faith in your Lord, who if you give one, he returns infinity? Is it as Al-Quran says, seek help through patience and prayer? Was prayer your consolation then, the refuge for the believers? For only Allah could understand the agony of Zainab's heart behind the veils. Like a conversation between two lovers was Zainab's Salatul Layl, that let her see the beautiful ordainment of God's plan and hear the prevailing sounds of La ilaha illallah. For Lady Zainab saw beauty not through her ayn but through her basira. If you see the world through the lens of Lady Zainab, then truly you would see nothing but beauty. If you see what Lady Zainab saw, then truly you would see nothing but beauty. A sight so extraordinary that brought Zainab's heart solace, a sight like which there could only be one, the sight of Hazrat Abbas revolving around Imam Hussain, the sight of moon revolving around the sun. Like the sight of two Ahmad on Gadi's member was the sight in Karbala of two Haidar. The noor of her Imam's face enlightened in darkness Sayyida Zainab's heart. The servants too yearn to see you. Ya Bakiyatallah mata tarana wa narak. The absence of your presence on the hearts, O Master, is cruel. Your face is a beacon of hope for us in the times of tyrannical rule. You are the beauty that our eyes search for. You shine like that of a jewel. You're like Yusuf for Lady Zahra. Then what beauty do you hold? For Rasulullah says, Fatima is more beautiful than beauty itself.
Allah.
And the one who saw nothing but beauty was the peak of beauty herself.
Allah.
She was the daughter of Fatima, and can minds ever understand Sania Zahra truly? Bakaya broken, left us alone. We could only find the same solace, the same beauty. For the sinners, the same kind welcome at the tomb of Sayyida Zainab and Bibi Masumaikum. The same shade of Sayyida Zahra's chadar we found there as we would near the grave of their mother. Salawat.
MashaAllah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
Ahsan, Sayyid Muhammad Hassan, please.
Sister Sakina, mashallah, beautiful words. You wrote all of that, correct? How long did it take you to compose all of this? It was a lot.
So it was like, I don't remember because I wrote it some time back, but it did take a long time.
Nice, nice. I love the line where you said that she is the knower of Sayyida Zahra's secret. And that reflects to me that her and Sayyida Zahra would often speak with one another, such that on the day of Ashura, she says to Abu Abdullah, Mahlan, mahla, yabna Zahra, come back, I have something I need to do, a promise and a vow for my mother. So that shows me each and every line wasn't arbitrarily produced just for the emotional purpose of it, but rather had meaning and depth. I loved the involvement of the Quran. You know, beautiful patience. The Quran is the only thing in life. This is an announcement. The Quran is the only thing in life. Wherever you put it, it makes the atmosphere more beautiful. Anything in life. You have work, bring the Quran. You have school, have the Quran somehow. You have poetry, you involve the Quran. The only thing I would say is because your focal central point was this statement, this maxim, ma ra'aytu illa jamila. The wording would be ma ra'aytu as opposed to ma ra'ayta, only because this is your main foundation. It would also be very good that all of that is taken into consideration as well. But besides that, you did very, very well. I cannot wait to hear more of what you will produce. Will you produce more, inshallah?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Ahsan.
Ahsan, Sayyid Muhammad Hassan. Sayyid Jalal, please.
MashaAllah, Sister Sakina, beautiful poetry. As I mentioned before, and I have recited some of the poets of myself in Spanish, each word has personality. So you're not lecturing. You're reciting, reading poetry. It's different between lecturing and reciting poetry. It's like if I say, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ. But if I put melody inside, emphasize inside, so it's more beautiful, you attract many people. Try to use, if you want to be superpower in the field of poetry, go to Quran as Sayyid mentioned. I want to hear from some of the poets like you, like the other arts of the poetry, like alliteration. Quran will help you. The best poet in our, for example, culture, he was memorizer of the Holy Quran. Like for example, Surah An-Nas will help you too much. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ. You see, it has the whispering, because after that we have مِنْ شَرِّ الْوَسْوَاسِ الْخَنَّاسِ. So it has the alliteration. Use this art as well in your poetry, but speed is very important. Yeah, emphasizing speed, repeating some part. That will, inshallah, help you. I wish all the best for you. Thank you.
Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Sister Sakina Bojani. Please put your hands together for contestant number 11, Muhammad Mahir Hashim.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Right, what are you going to recite for us?
A manqabat.
Okay, we have a manqabat. Mulla Muhammadjawad Karim, over to you.
Muhammad Mahir Hashim. Yes. What will you do if you win the prize of SHIA'S Got Talent?
I will go to Ziyarat.
But that's already a prize. What about the cash?
I'll buy tickets for Ziyarat also.
MashaAllah.
There's two ziyarah trips.
God bless you. Which manqabat are you reciting today for us?
Ali Shere Khuda.
One of my personal favorites. We're really looking forward to it. Ali Shere Khuda. Ali, the Lion of God. Yes. Yeah. Bismillah.
سر کوی بلند فریاد کردم سر کوی بلند فریاد کردم علی شیر خدا را یاد کردم علی شیر خدا را یاد کردم علی شیر خدا یا شاه مردان
MashaAllah.
دل نوشاد ما را شاد کردم
MashaAllah.
دل نوشاد ما را شاد کردم یا حیدر یا حیدر یا حیدر 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 یا حیدر یا حیدر یا حیدر 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 جناب قمبر و عمار و میسم زبان عشق سے کہتے تھے ہر دم علی نام خدا ہے اس میں اعظم اسی کے ہاتھ میں ہے نظم عالم
MashaAllah.
جدھر جائے نظر ہے ایک ہی منظر
MashaAllah.
زمین و آسماں کہتے ہیں مل کر علی جانم علی
MashaAllah.
جانم یا علی علی جانم علی جانم یا علی
علی جانم علی جانم یا علی
علی ہے قوت رب شاہ مردان
کیا بات ہے ماشاءاللہ
نبی کے شہر کا در کل ایمان علی قرآن میں سورہ رحمان
واہ 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 واہ
علی میدان میں ہے شہر یزدان کبھی بدر و احد اور کبھی خیبر ہر ایک میدان میں حیدر یا حیدر یا حیدر یا حیدر یا حیدر 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 یا
علی مولا MashaAllah.
یا حیدر
MashaAllah.
یا حیدر
MashaAllah.
یا حیدر یا حیدر 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 یا حیدر یا حیدر یا حیدر 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 یا حیدر یا حیدر یا حیدر 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 ظہور مہدی آخر کب ہوگا ہمارے سامنے ہوگا وجہ اللہ وہی آنکھیں وہی لہجہ و چہرہ کہ جیسے آ گئے حیدر دوبارہ امام وقت کا ہوگا یہ جلوہ جو دیکھے گا انہیں بولے گا مولا یا حیدر یا حیدر یا حیدر 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 یا حیدر یا حیدر یا حیدر 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 یا حیدر یا حیدر یا حیدر 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 سر کو سر کو یہ بلند فریاد کردم سر کو یہ بلند فریاد کردم علی شیر خدا را یاد کردم علی شیر خدا را یاد کردم صلوا علی محمد و آل محمد
صلی علی محمد و
Less nervous now?
Yeah.
Now the bigger question is, did you choose this outfit or did mommy choose the outfit or did dad choose the outfit?
My mommy chose this.
I know dad couldn't match this. I know we all have this problem. Right, Mulla, Mohammedjawad, Karim, over to you.
Thank you, MJ. Muhammad, that was a really, really beautiful recitation of what I think is quite a challenging kalam to recite, and you did it justice, I believe. You started in Farsi. which is really, really brave, and I thought you did a really good job. Your Urdu is quite good. Do you understand Urdu?
Yeah.
And is that the language you speak at home?
Yeah.
MashaAllah. Your Urdu is brilliant. I think that is a key component of you going very far. So keep that up. I couldn't fault anything in your Urdu, especially at your age. I like the fact that actually, when you practice for this, did you practice to be in tempo? Or did you just recite it?
I practice a lot of days.
Yeah. But did you practice to stay on the clapping?
Yeah.
You did, because you generally, I felt you were quite good at your tempo. Because the crowd was clapping and you stayed on tempo. That's really mature for your age. That's brilliant. And I think, therefore, I would love to hear a know-how from you because you're good at tempo. That's really good. And I also love your confidence. You know, you grabbed the mic, you had the paper like you've been reciting for 30 years, no sweat, no tears, and you just delivered it. The only 2 bits of advice I'd have is just work on the pitch a little bit. I feel because you're so young, you can go on the higher pitch, there's no problem. Ali Shere Khuda, you can stay on there. And you can easily do it, there's no problem. So just work, but that will come with time. I don't think this is something you need to worry about. I would, like I said to the last person, practice reciting higher, on your higher pitch. So work on the pitch. I had written down look up, but then you were looking up anyway. So maybe look up a bit more. At the start, maybe I think you were not looking up. But I love your confidence. I love your personality. And I love the fact that you're choosing something that is a really difficult thing to recite and delivering it as beautifully as you did. Ahsantum. Thank you.
Brilliant. Said Ali, over to you, please.
Ahsan, just to quickly summarize, thank you very much, Muhammad, for a very, very nice recitation. I just echo the words of Sayyid Muhammad and Mulla Muhammad. I agree with Sayyid Muhammad. Your voice can have diversity to expand into other things. It just requires more vocal training. You are still young, but you did very well. And I'm echoing Mulla Muhammad regarding your pace. Very good pace. I mean, that is the foundation to recite, isn't it? If you start doing it quickly, then slowly, then quickly, then no one can clap with you, no one can do matam with you. Great foundation. Keep working on your voice, and inshallah we'll be seeing more of you.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Muhammad Mahir Hashim. Put your hands together to welcome the final contestant for tonight, brother Mazahir Yusuf Banji. Assalamu alaikum. Right. What are you going to recite for us?
In short speech and with short 2 lines qasida.
Okay, so we have a lecture. Said Muhammad Hassan, over to you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Mudahir?
Mazahir, yeah.
Muzahir, okay. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah you're doing well.
Alhamdulillah.
What will you be speaking about?
Speaking about Hazrat Hur.
Could you bring the mic closer? I apologize.
Speaking about Hazrat Hur.
Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyahi, Ridwanullahi alayh.
Yes.
You said you were going to do a lecture, then what else at the end?
1 or 2 lines of qasida about Hazrat Hur.
Qasida.
Yeah.
So is it like a happy thing or
yeah,
just
it's a happy thing, yeah.
Inshallah. Please, I would love to hear you. The stage is yours.
Thank you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ما شاء الله لا ما شاء الناس. حسبي الرب من المربوبين. حسبي الخالق من المخلوقين.
ما شاء الله.
حسبي الرازق من المرزوقين. حسبي الله رب العالمين. أما بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
Respected judges, organizers of this wonderful program, and everybody around, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First, I thank Allah to give me this opportunity to stand here in front of you and to share something about one of the greatest personality on this planet Earth who has inspired us in many ways, and that is Hazrat Hur, rahmatullah alayhi. Who was Hur? As we all know, Hur was the captain of Yazid's army who stopped Imam Hussain from going to Kufa and forcefully diverted Imam Hussain to come to Karbala. Hur actually means to be free. Hur actually means to be free. And Hur actually proved his name right. He lived up to his name by freeing himself from the fire of hell before it was too late. Now question is, how did he do that? What did Hur actually do to deserve his status? That today we remember him with Ahlul Bayt. What has he done? What he did was he changed himself. He changed himself in only one night. Now how did he do that? How did he change himself? What made Hur to change overnight? After all, he had all the luxury. He had the power. He was the commander-in-chief of over 1,000 soldiers who were under him. He had the horses. He had everything that anybody could ever ask for. So what made him change? Was it the cries of the little children of Ahlul Bayt which may have melted his heart? Because he witnessed, he saw that even the animals, even the horses were given gallons and gallons of water. But for the children of the family of Ahlul Bayt, there was no even single drop. On one hand, Hur had all the luxury, all the comfort, all the bliss of life, all the glory of life. But on the other hand, the eternal, everlasting bliss, the eternal, everlasting bliss, the permanent happiness of the world hereafter. And to get this was not easy, my friends. To get this eternal bliss and the permanent happiness of life for the world hereafter was not easy. It means to give away everything, to give away whatever you have, even your life, to sacrifice your life, to put your life at stake. So he asked himself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Question, do I want this temporary and short-lived world? Do I want this temporary and short-lived pleasures of life? Or do I choose even better, the permanent rewards of the world hereafter? His instincts replied, yes, and yes, it's worth it, especially if it is for Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. He always knew deep in his heart that Imam Hussain was always right. He knew it, but he was also a human being after all, just like us. Because sometimes we may get distracted from these worldly, materialistic things. We may get distracted. We become blind by these worldly, materialistic things. But Hur chose right. Hur chose haq over batil. He chose the truth over falsehood. So my friends, what lessons have we learned from Hazrat Hur? What have we learned from him? That those who really want to change for good, those who really want to change themselves for good, can be done. It can be changed. We can change ourselves for good. How? What we have to do is just take one step. Just take one step forwards towards doing good, towards going the right. And then Allah shall open for us 100 steps and will guide us to 100 steps of good. All we have to do is take the initiative. Take that one step of good towards the path of Allah. And the rest, Allah will do it for us. Hence the words from the beautiful Ayat al-Kursi that I recited at the beginning, which says, Allahu waliyul ladhina amanu yukhrijuhum min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur. Allah will bring you out from darkness. Allah will bring you out from darkness into light. All we have to do is take that right step, just like Hur did, and leave rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There was this one poet which I heard and I listened. It was very beautiful. So I thought I would like to share it with you, and I'm hoping you would also like it. And the poet goes as, अपनी आंखों से ही देख लेना मुफ्तियों तुम जरा चलते चलते
माशाल्लाह
अपनी आंखों से देखते ही रहना मुफ्तियों तुम जरा चलते चलते रोंद डालेंगे फतवे तुम्हारे ये जुलूसे अज़ा चलते चलते
जियो सब मिलके
माशाअल्लाह या अली कुछ कदम हुर बरा शह के जानिब कुछ कदम शह बरे हुर के जानिब कुछ कदम हुर बरा शह के जानिब कुछ कदम शह बरे हुर के जानिब बख्श दी चंद ही लम्हों में शहने हुर की सारी खता चलते चलते
माशाल्लाह
बख्श दी या अली बख्श दी चंद ही लम्हों में शहने हुर की सारी खता चलते चलते तवज्जो चाहता हूँ
आता
लग रहा है मेरी कब्र में कोई नूर तुलू हो रहा है लग रहा है मेरी कब्र में कोई नूर तुलू हो रहा है दो सुतों ने कफन में रखी थी थोड़ी खा के शिफा चलते चलते
माशाल्लाह
दोस्तों ने रखी थी या अली दोस्तों ने रखी थी कफन में थोड़ी खा के शिफा चलते चलते So my friends, Hur came back to Allah. He returned to Allah by coming back to Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam. This is what Hur has taught us. My friends, similarly, when we go to Karbala, we should make niyyat that, Ya Allah, I have returned back to you. I have come back to you by coming to Aba Abdullah. So please give me the strength. Please accept my du'as. Please make me better person. So when I go out, when I go back to my life again, I have taken lessons from you and I follow the footsteps of Allah. I follow the footsteps of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and the way Hur taught us. Because my friends, only saying that we are the followers of Imam Hussain, by just saying that we are the followers of Imam Hussain is not enough, because also our actions have to match. Our actions also have to match in order for us to be truly call ourselves, we are Hussain ibn Ali, we are Hussaini, I am Hussaini. For that, our actions have to match our claim.
Ahsant.
Lastly, my friends, another lesson that we learned from Hur and Karbala is that it's never too late to change for good and to ask for forgiveness. And to support this statement, Allah has assured us in the Holy Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Udu'uni wa astajib lakum. Come back to me, ask me what do you want and I will give you. Make dua to me and I shall respond it to you. And also in one of the other verses, in one of the other places in the Holy Quran, Allah has again assured us, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, La taqnatu mir rahmatillah, inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'a, innahu huwal ghafurur rahim. Do not despair yourself from Allah's mercy. Allah forgives all our sins. Allah forgives all our sins. Truly, He is all forgiving, the all merciful. My friends, Allah's doors of mercy are always open. His doors of maghfirah are always open. All we have to do is take the initiative, take the first step towards coming to the right path. Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, and Allah will do the rest for us, just like Hur did.
Ahsant, Uncle. Thank you so much for your lecture. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Ahsant. MashaAllah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.
Right, sorry, we had to cut you short because you had exceeded the time and then over exceeded the other time that we had allocated. But that's fine because the kids were enjoying the Nari Haidari field that was set up for them. Just come in closer. I don't bite, don't worry. If I may ask you, how old are you?
MashaAllah.
I'm one of the oldest, I think.
No, we need to know that. That's it.
I'm 44.
Right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very interesting, I wouldn't say conversation, but the gentleman towards my left is the second oldest contestant we have had. SHIA'S Got Talent. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mazahir Yusuf Banji. Right, ladies and gentlemen, just bear with us. Judges, as you know, time's a bit of an enemy right now, so let's please escalate and get to the judgments, and then we can move to the scoring. Said Muhammad, please.
I commend you for not caring about age and this and that, the talent show. It doesn't really matter. We are all khuddam of Ahlul Bayt. The big, the old, the small, it doesn't really matter at all. So, Muzahir, mashallah, you have a great ni'i voice. Ni'i is what we describe the Musiba style rendition of. You have a very great voice. I think you can capitalize on that very well. You brought the best ayah ever when talking about Hurr ibn Yazid al-Riyahi. Allah is the one who takes those from darkness to light. Of course, it matches perfectly in the event of Karbala. I liked how you began by saying, Awalan salamu alaykum, everyone. Many speakers begin and they forget to say salam to the people. They have to say salam to everyone. People are here receiving you. Welcome them, and you did that very well. The thing is though, I really wanted you to explain more of the historical aspect of Hurr ibn Yazid al-Riyahi. You gave us his name, but the historical context behind that would have supplemented your lecture even further. He is called Hurr because earlier Imam Hussain and him had a one-to-one which was very contentious. Imam Hussain said to him, give me from that water. He replied, no, I have orders. Imam then said something very, many might call controversial. ثَقَلَتْكَ أُمُّكَ. May your mother never have birthed you and rather have aborted you. Heavy statement. He replied, Wallah, if your mother was any other lady, I would have said the same. In the moment of Ashura, when he falls down, Abu Abdullah approaches him, then he praises him and his mom by saying, Wallah, your mother was right when she called you Hurr. You are free in this life and free in the afterlife. That historical context would have supplemented the speech even further. I would have loved to have seen that. But nonetheless, you looked at only one side of the audience. There's this side here. Look at them. It's fine. And I know that you come from a humble background. I know of you. May Allah bless you and prolong your life. But you don't need to look at people. Look beyond them. Blur the people. Look beyond them. But at least acknowledge their existence. And the other thing is, ayat of the Quran can never be overlooked. Id'uni astajib lakum. Not wa astajib lakum. And I'm not saying that to put you on the spot. You are my elder and my teacher in this. I learned from you. But the thing with lecturers, as you know, mashallah, you have experience, people look for every blemish. You're a big white piece of paper, as white as that dishdasha, mashallah. But if there's any spot, people will magnify that. So just for your sake and our sake, these are things to keep in mind and keep note of. Continue in the path of lecturing. I am honored to see someone like you on this program. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you.
Right, say Jalal, over to you, please.
Brother Mazahir, mashallah, new method in the lecturing, alhamdulillah. So you brought that poetry part as well, beautiful. Just for your voice, you have to a bit work with the clarity of your voice, jumping from one part to another part requires a bit clearer voice. But overall, you have done a good job. We waited to actually listen or hear something about the references of hadith or something related to the famous refrain or famous says from the other school, or for example, important or famous writers. But you have done a good job. Of course, your age hardly is very, very young. I appreciate it. MashaAllah. Ahsantum.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mazahir Yusuf Banji.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, the auditions are done, and Alhamdulillah, it was a very good experience. And Alhamdulillah, we had a lot of contestants, and it was a very, very good experience for them as well, and for us, Alhamdulillah. And we hope and pray that all of this is accepted.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, I gave it my best today, and hope for the best. The others showcased a very, very inspiring talent. I hope for the best.
Alhamdulillah, it went well, but it was a very tough competition considering the competitors were very good. And next time what I have to make sure is I don't exceed the time, because the last part was one of the highlights for my lecture, but I was cut off, so I didn't have the chance.
My name is Ali Akbar Kirmani, and I appreciate the Karbala72 of the Shia Got Talent, and it was good.
My name is Muhammad Mahir. I really appreciated this Shia Got Talent. It was so nice. The people were so tough who recited, and I really appreciated this Shia Got Talent. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I really appreciate the Karbala72 group for hosting this event, and I hope that after my participation today, many females will inshallah open up to lecture inshallah and public talking. Thank you. Jazakallah.
Ladies and gentlemen, and dear viewers online, we have had performances tonight that have touched the hearts of many. We have had tears, we've also had laughter. The 12 contestants who will be making their way to the stage and stand next to each other for the first time this evening are about to find out whether their efforts, their hard work, their patience and perseverance has any fruits. So, please join me in welcoming the contestants for episode 5, day 5, season 1, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. We had a family that competed against each other, but they were first cousins. We have never, and nor have I ever, shared a stage with a mother and a daughter competing to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So please, a round of applause for the mother and daughter. Ejaz, how are you feeling today?
I don't know why, whenever I'm on the stage, even though I'm not supposed to be nervous, I feel a sense of nervousness and dread. I guess because of the overall atmosphere that has been created. So I wish all the participants, I think all of them did a fantastic job.
Yep.
And the amount of pathos, yani emotions that were evoked today, I think it was a very emotional program as well, based on some of the recitations. So I wish you all the best, inshallah.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to reveal which of these contestants will be heading home and who will be here on Monday and Tuesday to continue inspiring us and to showcase their talent. Today we begin with the first winner by asking Mulla Muhammad Abbas Karim to tell us who has the first ticket for the semi-finals of episode 5.
Thank you, MJ. Thank you, Ejaz. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody, all the participants who have attended today, irrespective of your age and experience. Same message as yesterday. Please, please do continue serving because you've inspired all of us today once again. The name on my card, my winner, has a very bright future. Recited something that really, really shook us all. And he's wearing a really nice outfit. And this is not because he's matching me, but my name is Ali Akbar Kirmani. Ahsan.
Come forward, please.
Ejaz, over to you. Anyone?
Okay, so we have a random pool of selection today. Judge wetu mzuri sana, Sayyid Jalal.
Unzuri sana, Kimcho, habari yako. My winner is a person, because you know in the community, different community, Pakistani, Indian, they have maybe 4 names, like in Spanish or in Arabic. One of his or her name means noble. Noble man or noble woman. This person, with respect to our sisters, is from this group, from men's side. I respect you, sister, you and your daughter. But my winner is wearing a very nice kurta, dishdasha.
Is it time to look at kurtas? How many do we have there?
Yes.
2, 3. Say Jalal.
Yes.
Kurta or dishdasha?
We you say kurta, but dishdasha is Arabic one. Yeah, I liked his personality. He was, I think, one of the first Khojas who wore a hat. And my winner is a great man, none other than Hussain Ali Sharif.
Right, Sayyid Mohammed Hassan, over to you, please.
That was strange. My winner, this person managed to excel in their oratory skills and was able to examine extremely comprehensive topics with very much depth, and that was indicative of their demeanor, their confidence, and their competence. Their oratory skills were highly eloquent, and they were articulating left, right, and center. They pontificated when they needed, and they were simplifying when necessary in order for us to best comprehend and understand what they were saying. My winner today spoke about something that was really deep, but at the same time very simple, and that was about God-centricism, and my winner is the one and only Fahmida Mahboob.
Right. Said Ali, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, MJ. I just want to ask the audience, did you guys have fun tonight? Did you guys have fun tonight? Okay, so if you enjoyed the show, give these people a loud salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Right, said Ali, please ease the nerves and bring calmness to the heart of one family, please.
So I'm not the type of guy that adds suspense, I hate it. But anyway, we might as well do it.
That's a talent you need to work on as well.
Yeah, well. It's a guy. It's a Mulla. Mulla Maysam Rashid.
Right, the boosters have found their voices. Families have just taken the deepest breath and sigh of relief. While some go home disappointed not having the opportunity to make it to the next round, 4 families will be heading home proud and happy to make it to the semi-finals. From all of us, I just have one very simple message. It's been an exciting night. It's been an emotional one. It's been tough, and it's been really nerve-wracking. But in all of this, there's only one thing that stands out. When you go home today, when you put your kids to sleep, when you try and get some sleep, remember, SHIA'S got talent. Thank you very much.
Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. I'll give my life and soul just to get to Karbala.
Let's go, brother, to the land of Abba Abdullah. Go and pack your bags, let's reach the land of Karbala. We cannot be late, we must go and catch our flight. Soon we'll be under the dome of Karbala's great night.
SHIA'S got talent.